Hello everyone and welcome back. It's great to see you. Today we're going to be doing things a little bit differently. Unlike our previous videos featuring the kind of highlight meme reels of a specific series, we're going to go ahead and recap the entire week. So without any more stalling, may I introduce to you the NA DPC Week 4 recap. Now Monday started off with DogChamp versus Electronic Boys. And game one was pretty hilarious. There was so much throwing. I could have sworn this was a game of sports ball, but Yaren's techies proved to be the nail in the coffins for E-Boys as he found a number of crucial kills, allowing Creep to carry the team on the Morphling to victory. Oh no. Now game two, things go a little bit differently. They respect ban the techies, forcing DogChamp to mix it up a little bit. And it turns out different ended up being pretty good for DogChamp as they took game two with ease. DogChamp now flaunt a perfect record of 8-0, solidifying them in second place here in the lower division of the NA DPC.
It's available. He gets a two-man call, but they take down the next assassin on the top side of the fight. Red 2 falls as well.
Now on Tuesday, we kick it up a little bit as Simply 2Base take on The Cut and Arkosh Gaming take on Felt. Now in our first game of our first series, Simply 2Base managed to hold high ground twice, turning the momentum of the game back in their favor, and they closed it out with a sick Silver Edge pickup by the Luna to finally kill off this Spectre.
There's a Silver Edge proc, the Eclipse as well, a huge stun in from Tingle King, but they get the Spectre.
And in game number two, it was a little bit more back and forth, but the Wombo combo from The Cut wasn't enough to get them the win. Simply 2Base managed to keep their heroes alive long enough in these chronospheres to turn these game-deciding fights, netting Simply 2Base a quick 2-0 win over The Cut.
Can he survive the Abyssal? He comes out of force, he's dead! That's gonna be it, Simply 2Base!
Now our second series of Arkosh vs Felt, game number one started with Arkosh last picking a carry Veno. He managed to steamroll over the Felt. A slow, painful, and unavoidable death, as you can imagine.
They are gonna find him eventually.
Nope.
Fuck this shit, I'm out.
Meanwhile,
Fuck this shit, I'm out.
Wow!
Game two proved to be much of the same as Arkosh last picked an OD into a dream scenario. They proceed to win all three lanes, taking a decisive 2-0 over Felt, moving them into the third position here for the lower division.
They can't get out. Oh my goodness, Tay. Holy shit, what a save by Crow.
On Wednesday, we returned with two upper division series. It was 4 Zoomers versus Quincy Crew and Black and Yellow versus The Cut. Now in game one of our first series, 4 Zoomers first picked a Brood Mother, but it just did not pan out for them as they were unable to deal with Quinn on this Bristleback. He continued to run down every single hero one by one. Enchantress and Elder Titan proceeded to make fights incredibly difficult for the Zoomers, kiting them around constantly and denying any kills.
And now you're gonna lose Husky as well outside the base. No buybacks. My bad, says Sammy. That's just GG.
In game two, the draft was a bit better from the Zoomers. They had decent lane matchups, but the Batrider and the Viper took too much of the map away from the Zoomers. They were unable to split push, allowing Yawar and Luna to carry the game. Quincy Crew take a quick 2-0 and continue their flawless run here in Division 1 at 4-0.
Ocean, he doesn't have he doesn't have slots. Oh no, they get everything still.
Now in our second series, The Cut were actually crushing game number one, but unfortunately, Lil Nick's power went out.
What the fuck was that?
They tried to play the game for a little bit 4v5, but inevitably were forced to GG playing man down.
They're just kiting out Scourge, and there's nothing that he can do about it.
Yeah. In game two, they picked up the stand-in Red 2, who happens to be the mid lane stand-in player from Electronic Boys. The Cut managed to get off to a pretty good start in game two, but were unable to keep up with the Luna and Hoodwink. The breaks from the sharpshooter just were too difficult to fight into. Definitely a Valorant effort overall, but Black and Yellow take a 2-0 in the end. This does end up securing the relegation for The Cut here in Season 2.
Break, oh my god! Bristleback just immediately dead. Takes an 1100 damage crit to the face. All right, that's GG.
Now for Saturday, we move on to the weekend as we kick it off with Wind and Rain versus DogChamp and 5-man Midas versus D2 Hustlers. In game one of our first series, it was really close, very back and forth many times. Yarn made some really sick plays on the Hoodwink, but the hard disables from Wind and Rain were too much to deal with as they take game number one.
You're gonna lose Silencer. They get Storm here. Well, that one's gonna be a dieback. Luki tried to take down Zabo.
Now in game two, a very different performance here from Dogchamp. Creep and Rayla Lisa have near perfect scores on Lifestealer and Storm Spirit as they walked all over Wind and Rain, getting them a quick victory.
He's just immediately dead, and Nyx Assassin as well. You buy back the Warlock, the GG comes out.
Game three was a little bit closer, but my series MVP has to go to Yaren. Once again, he enabled his team from this Keeper of the Light, picking up some crucial items to help close out the series 2-1. This places Dogchamp right next to D2 Hustlers in Division 2 as they boast a 5-0 record.
He expired. Sword able to make it away, but Rayla Lisa just going to continue the chase here on to Y. I don't even know where this Lifestealer is.
D2 Hustlers versus 5-man Midas. Now in game one of D2 Hustlers versus 5-man Midas, there's so many things that we could talk about. It was hilarious. Watching DNM on this Bristleback just run straight at his enemies, no fears in the world of dying. However, D2 Hustlers took the game super late, over 50 minutes, and it became a pretty sad showing as 5-man Midas had no damage and was unable to claim even a single kill as their throne was destroyed.
First Overgrowth, it doesn't matter. They can't go anywhere. Bristleback Chainstone down. Once again, they finally get the kill.
Now in game number two, the draft started with a 5-core lineup here from Divide Llama. We get a little bit of insight as to what actually happened. They accidentally picked Viper on 3 when the intention was for it to be the 5. They just rolled with the punches as they rolled right over 5-man Midas in game 2. The Cataclysm combinations were way too strong as they take yet another series to keep themselves in first place here in Division 2 at 6-0.
He's just giving it to him, Nev. Triple kill for the Invoker. The GGs are dropped.
Sunday is always a blast as we get 3 series here from the NA DPC. We started out with EG versus Simply 2Base. We moved on to Sad Boys versus Undying. We round out the week with Wind and Rain versus Picado Squad Gaming. Now in our first game of our first series, EG proved once again that they are the reigning kings of NA. They never really seem to struggle as they take an easy game 1 over 2Based. And after watching this game, Centaur is proving to be an impossible hero for a lot of teams to deal with.
And Centaur, ladies and gentlemen, a very dumb hero.
Now in game 2, we saw much of the same. EG got Centaur once again and managed to run over their opponents. 2Based had some good plays, but were too far behind Abed and Arteezy. Overall, I think Ice 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 on the Centaur is the MVP of the series. They could not deal with him at all. EG continued their domination here in the DPC with a spotless record of 4-0.
He got a chrono with no follow-up. He knows he's dead. The Blink Warstomp comes out. Triple kill for Abed, and 2Based accept defeat here.
Now with Sad Boys versus Undying, game 1, Sad Boys showed some signs of life and took a lot of really good fights. However, Bryle and Tomato managed to get way too far ahead, able to carry the game with the Centaur once again in the front line.
Coming in from Bryle Monster, trying to keep himself alive. Tomato did get tossed back, does have to pop that BKB as he'd get Reaper Sight otherwise. Now in game 2, we finally see Centaur banned out, but Undying just proving to be the better team as they pick up 70 kills. You heard it right, 70 kills, and spend the last half of this game farming Sad Boys inside their base and their fountain, and in a hilarious fashion. Undying now holds first place in the DPC at 5-0, having only dropped a single game to Black and Yellow. Back there's gonna be the Dust. Tomato buys it in the fountain. Oh my lord. The disrespect from Undying as they just absolutely clown on Sad Boys.
Our last series of the day was Wind and Rain versus Picado Squad Gaming. Game 1 was off to a really weird start following the removal of P1 from PSG in the mid lane. And Steel Borko is still MIA from Wind and Rain. Madara standing in for him once again. Some questionable plays were made by PSG, dying in vision and not punishing some overextensions from War. It seems they seem to be struggling a bit. with the departure of P1.
They're back. They're coming in. They get the Phantom Lancer, but Stampede as well as called out. Gyro, his whole kit's back up. You're just fucking gonna lose the fight. Call it GG.
In game 2, PSG still seems to be off their game. They drafted themselves into a pretty rough position and lost all 3 of the lanes. The team fight from Wind and Rain was just overwhelming as they took their first win of the season to maybe keep themselves outside of relegation.
Oh, that is a call down onto 3. A huge Centaur Stomp and an arena. Oh my goodness. Good night, PSG.
Thank you all so much for watching the video, and I really hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments down below what you think of this new type of video, like the overall week highlight as opposed to like the meme singular match highlights. That would be very helpful. If you like the video, please like and subscribe. It helps me continue to make this type of content and kind of get the word out of what we're doing. Lastly, make sure to come back next week as we'll be breaking down week 5 of the NADPC. I'll see y'all then.